So about a couple of years ago, I decided to do a soil test. It had been a long time since I had done a soil test, and I thought, let's just see what the levels look like. The grass was very green. It was like this, and I figured nitrogen was the least of my concerns. It turns out that nitrogen was extremely low. So why the green up? Of course, I had to do the research, and we're going to get into that right now. Let's talk about it. All right, so let's talk about green up in the lawn. So that nitrogen test, when it came back, I'm sure a lot of you guys that are familiar with green up, you know that there's more than nitrogen that will give you green in the lawn. You also have iron. And so, of course, that level was actually at an optimal range. But some other things that I found in the report or in the soil test results that really helped me understand what is actually causing green up beyond nitrogen. And in my research, one of the things that I also found was that when you look at chlorophyll production in the chlorophyll molecule itself, magnesium is the central atom of the molecule for chlorophyll. So that was also at an optimal level for my lawn. Then lastly, this is the thing that really helped me understand green up without nitrogen, or at least without applying nitrogen. And it's what I would refer to as the key that unlocks your soil. Understand that when you have nutrients in your soil, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're available to the plant. And this nutrient that unlocks the soil that will hold up nitrogen and iron flow to the plant is sulfur. So take this as an example. You may have heard someone say that they use urea and then they use ammonium sulfate or AMS. And one of the things that is commonly recognized by people that use urea and ammonium sulfate is that they realize that there is a stronger green, a deeper green in ammonium sulfate. Why is that? Well, ammonium sulfate has ammonium and sulfur in it. So the ammonium is your nitrogen source, and then the sulfur is what's unlocking and creating more flow to the plant. But that's not what I'm doing as far as the nutrients that I'm putting on my soil in the early spring. You know, I tried a lot of different things, and this was in 2024 where I tried Epsom salts, and I noticed that there was a green up, but again, understanding that magnesium was already at optimum levels, and that's what I was learning in my experimentation here, is that that sulfur was unlocking the nutrients that was already in the soil. So we've got all that down, right? We've got nitrogen, iron, and sulfur. But there's one more component that a lot of people in the lawn care community talk about when it comes to stress heat management as well as disease resistance, and that is potassium. And this, guys, was the actual product that I am using currently in the early spring. And I think it's one of the most underutilized nutrients in the lawn care industry when it comes to how it's used. So let's talk about that for a minute, because I think there's a big misunderstanding when it comes to potassium and how it's applied or how it should be used in the lawn. So understand that potassium is not responsible for green up in the lawn, not directly. It causes more efficient utilization of the nutrients in the grass plant. Sure, it will make the plant more heat tolerant, and it may potentially encourage stronger root growth, and it may help it stronger in defense against the disease pressure. However, I think the big misconception is that it will take it above and beyond its ability, and that's not the case. I think what's really happening is that you have potassium that is deficient in a lot of lawns. So by adding potassium, you're bringing the potassium levels up into that grass plant to encourage or to strengthen that plant to its normal levels. So while you cannot take a plant that is already at its optimum levels when it comes to potassium above and beyond its optimum levels, I do believe that if you have a plant that is deficient in potassium, you have a plant that is now weaker against heat stress and also against disease pressure. So by adding potassium to your soil, you will allow that plant to get up to its optimum levels to then encourage heat stress management and disease pressure resistance. But not all potassium is made the same, and I think it's important to understand there are two forms of potassium that most people use. One is sulfate of potash, or SOP, and that NPK ratio is 0,050. So when you're using sulfate of potash, you're actually using what is probably the better potassium option for your lawn. There is another option that is MOP, or muriate of potash. This is 0,062. The challenge with this is that it does not contain the sulfur like the sulfate of potash does, so you're not getting that unlocking effect in the soil like you would with SOP when you're using the muriate of potash. The other big challenge with muriate of potash is that it has a higher salt index. So this is something that is going to be more hard on the lawn in the long run. So your better bet is to go with sulfate of potash. So what about rates of application? And I think this is something that where it kind of gets all lost in the sauce of fertilizers and things like that. You have a lot of companies, I'll use Scott's as an example, where they have their lawn food, and while it's just a basic urea option, it does have a little bit of potassium. I think the NPK ratio for that is 3204. So you are getting a little bit of potassium, but that's probably not enough for a maintenance level of potassium. Again, I think this is how you fall short on your potassium levels. So the next question might be, how much should you actually put on your lawn? I would say anywhere from a half pound to a pound of product per 1,000 is going to be a good maintenance level for the average size lawn. Obviously, doing a soil test is going to be your better option as far as knowing how much of the nutrients you need. In my case, I'm actually quite deficient in potassium at the moment, so I will be applying 2 pounds per 1,000, and I'll do that twice in the year. So from a maintenance perspective, a half pound to a pound 2 times per year, once in the early spring and another one in the early fall, should take care of all of your potassium needs. So guys, that wraps it up as far as the full takeaway, bringing this full circle. A green lawn is not just about nitrogen. It's about nutrient balance, availability, and efficiency. And that can be accomplished with the use of sulfate of potash by unlocking the soil and allowing flow of nutrients with the sulfur, and then getting potassium into the lawn to increase the efficiency of nutrients to the grass plant, to increase chlorophyll production. Because the reality is that some of these nutrients may already be in the soil. You just need to turn the key to let them flow into the plant. I hope you guys found this helpful. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments below. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.